we're getting towards the rear of the ship now, and here is the Trellis restaurant. This is the main dining room, and it exists on decks 4 and deck 5. And you will find outside every day the menu for tonight's dinner service. So that's useful to come up and take a look. The maitre d' will be here, and if you haven't got a table allocated to you, then come and see the maitre d' and they'll be able to sort you out with a table fairly quickly. My time dining, or anytime dining as I should say, is down on deck 4. But let's go in now and take a look at the Trellis restaurant here on deck 5. And so as we go in, it's a lovely environment to come and visit. Of course, we're around lunchtime now on a day that we're in port, so the tables are not dressed for dinner just yet, but they will be a little bit later on, and I'll share some additional footage with you relative to the restaurant bully being fully dressed. But this is the upper deck here on deck 5, and if we take a look at the restaurant itself, you can see that it's a combination of a variety of different table sizes, from 2s, 4s, 6s, 8s and 10s. So irrespective of your party size, or if you'd like to have your dinner with people that you might meet on board, then that's certainly something that they can accommodate. And if we look down on deck 4, you can see that it is dressed for dinner. So we'll go down now and take a further look at the Trellis restaurant on deck 4. Okay, so here we are now down in deck 4 in the Trellis restaurant, and of course you can see that it's resplendent in its Christmas decorations, and here the tables are set for dinner. So you'll see again a variety of different table sizes to meet your dining needs, and if you'd like a small table, which invariably people tend to like, then you can get them, albeit somewhat grouped together. But again, another variety and a mix of different table sizes to meet your dining needs. So that's the Trellis restaurant on decks 4 and 5. And here's the entry point for the Trellis restaurant here on deck 4. 2 desks, the maitre d's will be here, and typically this is used for anytime dining. So you'll come up to your desk. If you know your table, then you can go straight there. If not, they will escort you to your table. So that's Trellis restaurant on deck 4. And then adjacent to that is the Rendezvous lounge. So let's go into the Rendezvous lounge now and take a look inside. And so as we go into Rendezvous lounge now, you can see that again it's another typical relaxed light space, plenty of lighting, obviously has its own bar area, and of course it's a location for live music. So there is a dance floor and a stage for varying entertainment at varying times on your cruise itinerary, and a variety of small tables peppered around, a very light and airy sort of feel, and of course large windows so you can look outside. We're in port today, we're actually in Casablanca, and hence why the lounge is empty currently. So that's the Rendezvous lounge here on deck 4. Okay, so next here on deck 4 is Luminae. Luminae is that restaurant set aside for suite guests, and it's their preferred main dining room for their breakfasts and lunches on sea days, and also evening meals here on Celebrity Infinity. So let's go in and take a look at Luminae. So as we come into Luminae, then you'll see that it's from a decorative perspective, it's very much different to the main dining room Trellis restaurant, and of course suite guests are in here for their main meals. So let's just go down and take a look at some of the areas where you can have your meal. It's not particularly big, but yet I'm sure functional and sufficient to meet the needs of the suite guests. Of course, with its own set of menus and a wonderful feel, and tables lavishly decorated for the discerning guests. So this is Luminae on deck 4 for suite guests, and it's the set-aside restaurant for suite guests here on Celebrity Infinity. Okay, so the next restaurant that we will see here on deck 4 is Tuscan Grille. That's the upscale restaurant of an Italian theme, and of course there's an additional payment for this over and above your cruise price, but you can go in and you can get yourself some very nicely themed Italian food, and also there are some additional specials by one of the famous chefs. So let's go in now and take a look at Tuscan Grille. Okay, so let's go into Tuscan Grille then and take a look to see what's available on the menu today. So as you come in, of course, there is a desk, and Maitre D will be here to greet you, and individual members of staff will take you to a designated table if you've made your booking. Of course, this is an upscale restaurant, so there is an additional charge, but there is an exquisite menu of both Italian, and also there are some Indian options for you, and also a menu, I believe, from the chef Daniel Ballard. So let's go in and take a look at the seating arrangements and the decor here in the restaurant. And so as you can see, it's of a typical sort of Italian theme in this restaurant, and nice use of reds and browns, and plenty of space for you to enjoy a nice peaceful evening meal. Again, variety of different table sizes, so you can get small tables by windows. You can also have large tables for perhaps large family gatherings and friends and family. And again, a real nice feel to the restaurant itself. Now we're at port today, so it's not open for lunch, hence why it's empty, but a great opportunity for me to share it with you without being intrusive. So that's the Tuscan Grille here on deck. Okay, so that's the Tuscan Grille, and just as an aside, there is a little private room that's here on this left-hand side by the entrance, and this is an area designated for chef's table. It's not set up for chef's table at the moment, and is being used as part of the main restaurant. Of course, there is the cellar here, so you can see some very nice bottles of wine and vintages around the outside. But if you've booked chef's table, this is where you will be seated. And if it's not a chef's table booking, then that potentially could be used for you to come down into the restaurant itself. So that's Tuscan Grille and chef's table on deck 4. And so here we are now on deck 5, just adjacent to the Rendezvous lounge, and this is Blue. Now Blue is the restaurant that's set aside for aqua class guests, and if you are an aqua class guest, you will be allocated this restaurant for breakfast and for dinner. So let's go in now and take a look at Blue and what's available for those aqua class guests. And as we go in, you will find that Blue Restaurant is very, very beautifully laid out, with wonderful accents on the table, with the blue glasses and various table coverings. And if we walk further down into the restaurant itself, you will see it laid out for the dinner service, which will be later on this evening. A lovely restaurant, very, very similar in its design and layout to Luminae that we shared with you from deck 4. Some lovely lighting and also some wonderful decorative pieces in the walls, rose petal designs, and so this makes for a wonderful ambience and a lovely setting for you to have your evening meal. So that's Blue Restaurant on deck 5, and the menu in here is different from the main dining room restaurant and will change every day accordingly. So if you're a Aqua Class guest, then this is where you'll come and have your breakfast and your dinner if you would like to do that. So that's Blue Restaurant on deck 5. Okay, so as we come away from that on deck 5 now, we come to Cellar Masters. Cellar Masters is another separate bar area and some very nice looking art pieces in cabinets along the way. So let's go into Cellar Masters now and take a look. Okay, so in the middle here there is a very nice little area set aside. If you're a bit of a wine connoisseur and you'd like a particular type of wine, perhaps a wine that's not available in some of the other bars, then you can get it here in Cellar Masters. And then adjacent to Cellar Masters is Sushi on 5. Sushi on 5 is one of the upgraded restaurants. For an extra payment, you can come here and enjoy your favorite sushi or sashimi in a different environment other than the main dining room. So let's go in now and have a little look at what's available on Sushi on 5. So a really, really nice open light environment, obviously decked out in a nice traditional Japanese style, and down in the left hand side are members of the team that will be preparing for tonight's evening dinner session. But this is where you'll come and grab yourself your sushi, and this is where your sushi will be created and served to you in this lovely airy light restaurant. So that's Sushi on 5. So that's Cellar Masters, Sushi on 5, and the bar here in this lovely lounge. So we hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more, then check out our channel, Ray and Sue's Travel Channel, where you'll find a multitude of different videos covering ship tours, port tours, and offering up tips and advice. You'll also find individual playlists where you can centre in on a specific ship or a specific itinerary. And consider liking and subscribing to Ray and Sue's Travel Channel. It's free, and there's not a lot free these days, is there? Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.